Okay, day 2 of the Frontenac Challenge. I'm at it again, bright and early, really early. So yeah, I'm taking on the Cedar Lake. I'm not taking on the Cedar Lake. I don't take on, well, I do take on life, but I don't take on trails. I enjoy trails. Anyway, Cedar Lake Loop. It's 14 kilometers, I believe, and a little longer than yesterday. Yesterday was only 4 kilometers. I did those 2 small trails. But yeah, it's longer, but it's not as supposedly as rugged as some of the other trails in this park. So second day, again, easing into it. I'm going to take on, don't say take on again, Cedar Lake Loop. I've never done this trail, so I don't even know where to start. I think there's 2 sections of it but you have to do the whole loop to do Cedar Lake. All right, here we go. I'm gone. I'm walking more than talking today. Just saying. Breakfast time. Breakfast time. Yeah, just sun just came up. Well, the sun's not up. It's around 7 in the morning. So just a note, when you're doing these trails, later in the fall, the dark is going to be in the morning and at night. So leave early, and maybe later on in the month of October, bring a headlight just in case. This is where it gets confusing here. Okay, we're splitting off a lot here, but there's signs. Here we go. Arkin Lake Loop East, we don't go there. Big Salmon, no. Well, we do go there. Campsite. Well, here's a map. Yeah, I'm going the right way. So I go to the right because I have to do, is it dedication? It's called? Part 1, part 2, I got to do both. That's the Arkin Lake Loop that I'll do in a couple more days from now, but I'm going this way. Right, here we go. Yeah, it's odd it doesn't say Cedar Lake Loop on any of these signs. I checked the map, and yeah, it's you take what's called the corridor trail, which actually goes along Salmon Lake, and I think it's dedication or something like that. There's 2 loops, 1 8, 1 9 kilometers, something like that. 2 of those make up the Cedar Lake Loop, I believe. Yeah, it's just odd it doesn't say Cedar Lake Loop anywhere. But I checked the map. We're good. Here we go. Into the forest. Okay, trail splitting again. So I know where I am, I think. That's Dedication Trail, which actually splits off the Cedar Lake Loop. And that way is Big Salmon Lake. And Big Salmon Lake is where we want to go to do the entire loop of Cedar Lake Loop. It's gonna be warm today, fogging up. My glasses are all fogging up, and I haven't even worked up a sweat yet. It's funny, in the morning it's really cool, so you dress up for it, and then you're kicking yourself because you have to put everything in your pack. Well, so far this trail is relatively flat. Rough grouse just flew off. It doesn't matter how many times that happens to me. I jump out of my skin. What's that? It's just a grouse going. Boom, 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 boom. Oh boy. Whew. Totally different trail than yesterday's. More rolling hills, flat land, swamp, ponds. Cool. Scariest grouse moment, something in Lake Superior. I was in the bush in the wintertime with my snowshoes on. And what they do, if it's really cold at night, they'll plunge into the snow and get warm by doing that. But then sometimes through the night, that will ice over. So they entune themselves in the snow. And so one had done that. I pushed my snowshoe down in the snow, untuned it, flew off in front of me. Wow, a bit of a startle there. Cool. Look at this, this is a nice trail. Okay, another fork in the road. Salmon Lake parking lot is down there. I don't want to do that unless I have to use the washroom facilities, which I don't. Now I'm going to go this way along Salmon Lake. This is part of the Salmon Lake Loop, which I'm not doing. It's called the Corridor Trail, which is along Salmon Lake. And in theory, this will then fork off around for the Cedar Lake Loop. This is a different section of the trail. You got Big Salmon Lake beside you, quite nice actually. Full of white pine along here. All the other pine you're going to see out here has a cluster of 2 needles. White pine has 5 per bundle. 5 needles. You can't see the 5. Here, 5 needles. Textbook sort of says you remember that by the word white has 5 letters. That's pretty boring. But I don't know, think of something else. 5. Jackson 5. Lots of nice white pine in here. Walking this section of the trail reminds me of a story. So we take students here a long time ago. We took students here because we couldn't take them canoeing any longer because the school principal said it was too dangerous to take them canoeing. So the whole canoeing program got shut down. So I took them backpacking, saying, well, you can't stop that, can you? I remember she said, well, what about bears? It could be dangerous for bears. So I had to write a safety report proving that I could handle a bear issue. It's a true story. So we headed off on the trail. We're out for 5 days. Raccoon stole some of his food, but that's about it. We had no bears issues. There are bears here in the park, but we had no bear issues. Whew, I'm out of shape. Anyway, during that time, a bear, this is in Cobourg, Ontario, a high school in Cobourg, a bear had gone across the football field of the high school to go to the McDonald's or Harvey's or whatever and go into the garbage bin. So there was a bit of panic because everybody saw the bear. They did a lockdown in the high school, a complete lockdown. True story, it was in the news. Police OPP helicopter flew over the bear and shot it dead. Okay, for the safety of the children. Anyway, I came back, heard the story. I went, what the? So I went to the principal and I said, hey, can you write me a safety report proving you know how to deal with a bear issue? And she goes, are you making a point? Yes, I am. Wow. Kids are more in danger staying in school and going mentally ill than they are walking in the woods with bears around. Right. I love this part of the trail. There's some rules of the Frontenac Challenge. You can't cheat. You can't take shortcuts. You gotta play it safe. The one though that's on the list is really funny. You can't be carried. What? Who would do that? And right now, my legs are like a little sore. I wish someone could carry me. Oh, look at this. Is beautiful part of the trail. Look at that. So now there's a stand of red pine, not white pine. And 2 ways you know it's red pine. First of all, needles of 2, like all the other pine, but really long and pointy. But look at the reddish hue of the bark. So red pine, reddish hue to the bark. And if it was Scots pine, which wouldn't be around here, it's an introduced species from Europe. The top of it is red, like a Scottish person with red hair, but not the entire bark. So red pine, reddish hue to the whole bark. Needles of 2, and I always use red pine if I can find them to scrub my pots while I'm camping, because they're very hard and brittle, or hard and, what's it called? Scrubs the pot really well. Yeah, I'm fogging up. It's getting warm. This is nice. What a nice morning. I don't know my fungi all that well, to be quite honest. Sorry about that. But I do know this one. It's called turkey tail, because it looks like the tail of a turkey. Wild turkey. You see that? Cool. Alright, here's another species. This is a maple. First off, all maples are opposite branching, meaning one there and one opposite, where all the other species are alternate. One branch here, one branch here, one branch here. So I know this is striped maple for two reasons. One, look down to its bark. Look at its bark right there, and it's got green stripes on it. It's more of a bush than a tree, to be quite honest. It doesn't grow very big. And so it got green stripes. It's also called moose maple. Well, moose love eating it because it's a more of a shrub, lowland tree. But also it looks like the hoof of a moose, or even maybe the bat signal. I'm not sure, but yeah. So moose maple, striped maple. I'm now leaving Salmon Lake and looping back the other way, and it's going up on uplands again with ground juniper and some maple and gnarled pine. Cool. Heard people camping on big salmon, some canoeists, family. Nice to hear them giggling and having breakfast. So the campsites at Frontenac, I gotta personally say they're not to my liking. They're cluster sites, and meaning that there's a whole bunch of sites, like from 4 to 6 together, and there's platforms to put your tent on. There's got to be a reason why they did that here, but it also means that you'll most likely not be camping alone. You'll have a neighbor, so it's almost like a mini campground. But very popular. Hard to get a site in the summer, especially on weekends. So some people like them. And yeah, and you know, if it's not busy, no one's going to be there on the cluster site except you, and that's fine. But just don't expect to have all 100% privacy. Just saying. Wow, this is nice. It's a really cool spot here. Yeah, so I failed to tell you which way I'm going. I'm going clockwise. And I don't know why. I don't know which way's better. I've never done this trail. So I'm going clockwise. Yesterday I went counterclockwise both trails. Interesting. But look at this. It's amazing. loveliness. Totally different. This is definitely not a Algonquin or Killarney. It's got its own character. Frontenac has his own character for sure. Wow. Very diverse. Loving the day so far. I think it's easier going uphill than it is going down. Yikes. Well, the trail's not all flat. That was the steep part. All right, another fork in the road. So this is where it splits the two dedication trails. So I'm not going right. I'm actually going straight ahead to Cedar Lake Loop to finish it off. I'm guessing about halfway through then. Okay, so what I've done so far, parking lot's over here. I've gone along here and then come back along here. And then this, I can go back if I wanted, but I don't. I want to finish the whole loop, so I'm going to go around this way. Yeah, I got a bit more to go. There's a sign coming up. There's a sign. Not the clue sign, by the way. I ain't telling you about that. It's a secret. Oh, the Deadly Slide Lake Loop. That's the big one. So I'm doing Cedar. Campsite number 2. All right. All right, there we go. Arab Lake, I think. Turned out to be a beautiful day. I was wrong. That's Doe Lake. Just looked at the map. Right, Doe Lake. Still a nice day. Well, I found the clue, the sign, quite a ways back actually. I just didn't want to film near it. People recognize the area. Anyway, I gotta say though, a few times during the day I was like, I hope I didn't miss that sign. I didn't. It's obvious, but you get paranoid after a while. I thought maybe, well, what if someone takes it down? I don't know, like some Frontenac Challenge conspiracy. I don't know. But yeah, it's there. Awesome. All right, last fork in the trail. I'm almost there. 0.6 kilometers to Arab Lake parking lot. Yeah? Arab Lake parking lot. All right. Oh yeah, that's where I started. Well, I'm almost there. Parking lot where I started this morning. It's just about half a kilometer away. And yeah, it's a good day. I don't know what time it is. I don't check time out here. I'm guessing noonish. No, I think it's actually 12:30 or something like that. So let's do the math. So just took me about 5 hours to do it, and it's not bad for an old guy that's out of shape and got arthritis. And my vertigo kicked in through the trip. That was lovely. I suffer from vertigo. I've done for many years. Anyway, blah blah. It's good to get out. And the pamphlet says it takes 4 to 6 hours to complete. So I did it in 5. It's pretty good. 14 kilometers. Loop number 3 of the Frontenac Challenge. Total 11 loops. I'm getting there. It's beautiful country. It was a beautiful day. Nice cool breeze, sun, rain stopped this morning, and have a beautiful lunch up by the lake, by Doe Lake. And yeah, I think of the 3 I've done so far, that was my favorite, especially going through the swampy bits, those ponds. That was incredible, unique habitat. All right, here we go. We're almost done. And to be continued. This is a series. There's a whole bunch of them coming up on Casey Happy Camper.